and gentlemen, there is a storm in UDA wing in Nakuru. And this storm is coming over because of one thing. Susan Kihika gave an editorial bid in Nakuru. So yesterday there was a morning show at Touch, I think it's Touch FM. It is a challenging station. And Kimani Ngunjiri was being interviewed there on phone. Kimani Ngunjiri is Bahati Member of Parliament and is one person that has been a strong supporter of Deputy President William Ruto. Kimani Ngunjiri is making it very clear that while Kihika wants to win Nakuru governor seat, Kihika is working behind the scenes to make sure, he's actually saying that he cannot work with Bahati MP. And so, in this video, I listened to that clip because it's a 2-minute clip that I've just emerged. In this clip, I want you to listen to that clip. It's a clip that is very interesting enough. It's going to divulge more on what is happening. And this informs the why you'll actually you'll agree with me that Kihika has been missing in the latest rallies. I remember when they were in Nakuru, after the hunt, I think after the Bomas of Kenya event on January 23rd, the next stop was Nakuru. And when they went to Nakuru, the host of that event was Susan Kihika. And of course, in terms of pedigree, Kihika is above. So first, let's listen to that clip so that when we come back, we shall analyze from it.
I like fighting for something. Na mimi napenda msimamo yangu. Mimi si mtu wa kungojea kupewa. Kitabu ya Mungu imesema nitabariki kazi ya mkono yako, si kazi ya kuachiwa ama ya kupewa. Lakini lazima kuwe na hiyo siasa, lakini ile siasa imekuwa huko ilikuwa inaleta shida.
Yes.
Kidogo na italeta shida pia Nakuru. I know ni hii mama anaitwa Susan Kihika.
Yes.
You know, huyu mama ako na shida yake. Nimejaribu kwenda chini. Nimejaribu kutuliza. Tumejaribu kuongea na Deputy President na yeye na wazee na wajumbe. I have tried all what I can. Lakini ako na kasuba ndani yake inamsumbua. Because anafikiria na anaambia watu yeye anataka gavana Nakuru. Lakini hawezi kupata gavana Nakuru na Ngunjiri ya kuwe mjumbe. Hata ukijaribu kumaliza vita yote iko anarudi na hiyo. Lazima anikate. Lazima akate jini Kihara nini madha watu wengi. Anataka aweke MCAs wake. Na alikuwa anatembea na ile walikuwa wake wa zamani. Ndio alikuwa anatembea nao, ndio ameandika ofisini kwake. Which is not bad on his opinion. Lakini Lee Kinyanjui anatafuta kiti. Umesikia akipigana na wajumbe? Umesikia akipigana na MCAs? Haya, Karanja huyu anatafuta kiti ya gavana. Umesikia akipigana na wajumbe? Umesikia akipigana na MCAs? This mama ako na shida yake. Na kwangu Bahati alikuwa ameelekeza huyu mchana na hiyo mrembo.
Hii migogoro yenye iko Nakuru County mtafanya acha ili ya kwamba kiti isiwaponyoke iende kwa chama kama.
It doesn't matter. Tutafurugana na tuko huko ndani. And the time has come to talk the truth. I've come here to talk the truth.
Yes.
Tutapelekana kabisa. Hakuna kitu kingine. Mimi sitaki kiti ya gavana. Na kama ananipiga kwangu analeta huyu mama anaitwa Mrembo.
Yes.
Wanachukua karibu milioni 50.
Yes.
Wanachukua hiyo pesa, wanaanza kuchunguza kanaye kufanya nini? Saturday Deputy President akikuja, I made appointment. Na imekuwa imesimamishwa mara mbili na Deputy President. Ilikuwa ikuje baka 26 akanipea date nikuwa Eldoret.
Yes.
Akaenda akakuja hapa akakuta date imechukuliwa akanipa 90. Mimi akuje kwangu constituency pahali nimechaguliwa. Sasa hawa they hijackers. Anakuja na hijack, anaenda ndio ndio kusema ati mliniambia niwete deputy. Let's talk the truth. I'm the one who made it.
Yes.
Ninazungumza mambo ya maji, anaanza kupigana na hiyo kusema maji ni account government. I know. Mimi si mgeni. Kuliko kusema nimesikia vile hata mjumbe amesema nikichaguliwa gavana tutashikana na mjumbe wenu, tutashikana na president, tutafute maji. Maji ya Nakuru County ama ya Bahati County. It is over. Diko juu ya kuwa land kabisa na county government. It need to be assisted. Kama tunajenga hii Italy dam na vitu, it need heavy. Kama kwangu Bahati inahitajika kwenda huko kwa milima yote. Kuna damu 4 hata hajui. Kuna walionga, kuna ingine 4 nimekimbiza naye forest na nikapewa barua na watu wa forest kupanua. Ilitengenezwa 1820 something. Hiyo dam hazijapanuliwa mpaka sasa. We must have a relationship with the government.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've listened to that part. And there is a storm in between. If you listen to the way Kimani Ngunjiri is talking, I think he seems to be highly agitated. And of course, if there is a politician that you should never mess with if you are in UDA, is Kimani Ngunjiri. The reason why, these are fellas that don't care. They don't mince their words. They'll always tell you when they need to. But then, if you want to know that there was an issue, but again, when UDA was formed, Susan Kihika was the point person of UDA in Nakuru. In fact, when UDA was the coordinators were being picked from different counties, Susan Kihika was in charge of that exercise and even the registration. And I believe that he has an upper hand when you talk about William Ruto. Now, what is happening there, if you also listen carefully, you will realize that the problem is also coming from the UDA headquarters. Last weekend, Deputy President was in Nakuru, and by the way, that interview is just a bit of it, but the interview was a whole 30 minutes discussing about this. And Kimani Ngunjiri said that he had planned a meeting with the president, with Deputy President in Nakuru, before just to try to streamline these issues. But again, the handlers around Deputy President postponed that meeting. And that was not the first time. According to him, the DP Ruto has postponed meeting with Kimani Ngunjiri and Susan Kihika more than 3 times. And that was supposed to be a private meeting. Now, interestingly, there is also a meeting that has been held of Kimani Ngunjiri with Kihika and members of parliament on the UDA wing, and even elders in Nakuru County. And I want to believe these are just opinion shapers in Nakuru County. So what happens is, this has been a simmering war for long. It is just now that is now coming out. But again, why don't they agree? That is the question. Personally, if I look at the personality of Susan Kihika, having rose all the way from county assembly, actually she was a speaker in Nakuru, then 2017 she became the senator, now she's seeking the governor's seat. Of course, her political growth has been that steep, and she's been moving. But of course, with these latest political fights that she's picking, I think she's deemed to lose her political career because she is picking the wrong fights at the wrong time. Kimani Ngunjiri is a grounded politician, and of course this is something that is happening. Now, if you look at it critically, you realize that the DP Ruto have a soft spot for Susan Kihika. He has a soft spot for Susan Kihika, and that is why Kimani Ngunjiri is agitated, because if Kimani is saying that Susan Kihika is out to derail him and make sure that he is not re-elected, then this is something that he need to raise an issue. He need to raise an issue with the DP Ruto so that it can be addressed. But that is not seeing the light of the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, this video, I want us to look at the root cause of this and why this is really going, what is bringing all these fights at UDA, the Nakuru wing. Now, ladies, if you're watching this video, kindly take a second and subscribe, and also click the notification bell so that when we publish a video, you will be notified. Now, if you're someone from Nakuru or you happen to have listened to that interview, you can also tell us, give us some of the things that you had, that maybe you had in that interview and we have not yet captured here. You can also tell us something that you think that transpired in that meeting. And I think I need to read for you a screenshot I captured. I looked at the comment section, and someone said something very interesting. Said Patrick Kipiegonsigei is saying, I listened to the whole interview on Kalenjin radio station, Touch FM, yesterday morning show. That is true. He said all that, and Kalenjin voters in Nakuru who are calling most say they will not vote in Susan Kihika, but instead Lee Kinyanjui. Nakuru is metropolitan. So the fact that some of the projects are being sabotaged, or Kimani Ngunjiri has been a strong supporter of Ruto. And so if he says that it's being sabotaged, and by Susan Kihika is deemed to lose. Remember, she's facing competition from Lee Kinyanjui and Dr. Stanley Karanja, Stanley Karanja is seeking through Jubilee, and Lee Ubuntu, and then Senator Kihika. But then, what do you think? What is bringing this down? Number one is the direct nomination headache. The nomination is becoming an issue because what Susan Kihika is doing, even Jane Kihara, according to reports, she has also planted another candidate that is seeking UDA ticket in Naivasha. And maybe, according to what Kimani was saying, is that some of these candidates are first-timers who most probably are being bankrolled. By the way, if you're from Nakuru, you can tell us who are competitors for Jane Kihara and maybe Kimani Ngunjiri, so that we can also analyze on that ground, are they really worthy competitors? So what Kihika is doing is to make sure that these MPs are subjected to nomination. Then at the nomination, maybe they can lose, and with that, they shall have been dashed off. So this is something that is not sitting well with Kimani Ngunjiri. I want to believe, and of course, sometimes loyalty needs to be rewarded. A leader in the caliber of Kimani Ngunjiri, really, he deserves the direct nomination. And I'm not saying I'm anti-nomination. Now, number two, this brings me to the issue. What is bringing all these issues is the 2027 ambitions. And Susan Kihika is a student of William Ruto. So remember what William Ruto did in 2017 in the Jubilee nominations. He actually micromanaged the Jubilee nominations and made sure that all those candidates that would have been a challenge for him in 2022, especially in the presidential docket, went home. That's why the Kabogos were fixed out. Now, Susan Kihika seems to be borrowing that script and wants to make sure that the Kimani Ngunjiri, the Susan Kihika, the Jane Kihara, the leaders who would be eyeing the governor's seat probably after 2022 are dashed off. And of course, that is why she's trying to micromanage all these aspects within the UDA. Now, that thing that is also coming out here is, I think Lee Kinyanjui is penetrating the UDA wing in Nakuru. Sometimes this is one way to make sure that you just dash off your enemy. If you listen to the way Kimani Ngunjiri is talking, in fact, I even heard part of the interview, Kimani Ngunjiri said, and was being asked, I think, and he said there that if Susan Kihika must just sabotage him, then he has no option but to work with people who can support him. And people who can support him are the Lee Kinyanjui. So there were also rumors that he was saying, and he was so specific that there is no option. He's so specific that Susan Kihika must work with him to get that seat. Otherwise, he's going to support the other governor candidates like Lee Kinyanjui, who are not interfering or rather meddling with the MP and MCA seats in Nakuru. Why would Susan Kihika be so working behind the scenes to make sure that she gets MCAs that support her? Of course, this is something that is good because is friendly on her side, because remember the fate that Waiguru went through, because Waiguru had a fallout with the MCAs and MCAs impeached her. So she is just trying to insulate herself from maybe impeachment motions that might be thrown her way by the political competitors. Actually, the people who can impeach her are not the MPs, is the MCAs. So that is why she's also trying to meddle with the MCA seats. But then the issue that is here is William Ruto is favoring Kihika, and that is why Kimani Ngunjiri made it clear that if Ruto has just to favor Kihika and that Ruto cannot manage the Nakuru politics, then you will have no option even to jump ship and support Azimio la Umoja. Remember, Kimani Ngunjiri is one of the MPs that has not resigned from Jubilee Party officially to join the UDA. So these are all political games that are here on board. And ladies and gentlemen, what is really happening? If you follow that interview, can you get to us at what is really the issue on ground, especially for the people from Nakuru?